Hello my friends, today we are going to go check on the bees. It's been 2 or so weeks now. I've had a couple people that are very interested in bees and everything. They wanted more of an in-depth video of what I do. So today is that day. A dedicated video of just doing bees, so here we go. Gonna get my smoker and I'm gonna get a bee suit just in case they're being a little feisty. Got in the bed here, got a bucket. Alrighty, there they are. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all on a chest rig so then y'all can see from my vantage point of everything that I'm doing. The cool thing is that we have loads of our smoking material here. Gotta let it like kind of burn a little bit here. Get a good coal base going. Then shove it down there. Let it get going in there. Just keep on smoking it. You would think this would be a pretty easy part, but if you've ever done it before, it's actually, there's definitely a knack to it. Keep on going. Since I'm gonna be in there for a little bit, I like to always put a good amount in there. Alrighty. Just gonna go ahead and just give them all a good, have a peek into this hive here. Pop it open here. Give them a little bit of a smoke, but not too much. The smoke can be your friend and it can be your enemy at times too. You don't want to smoke them too much and you don't want to smoke them too little. It's kind of like a whole knack to it. Just want to work nice and slow. So we'll just go ahead and raise up the lid here. Hi girls. We'll just put this over here for now. Let them be able to do their thing. Real quick, I wanted to say thank you to Mark Gannon for sending us boys our hive tools. He is a subscriber of the channel, super awesome guy. We actually met him in person, super cool. So anyway, first bin here, just gonna use the tool. What we're just doing is pushing all of the frames forward to make room. To make plenty of room for this frame to come up here. All we do is we work really slow and easy. Really slow. Pull them on up here. They're working, they're filling this one out. So we'll set this one aside here. So then the next one will be here. Now what I've done, I've only have like about, a month of bee experience, so not too much. And then actually working on my own hives, I only have like 3 weeks of experience, or 4 weeks. So anyway, so I'm looking in here. You don't have to take out each frame. I mean you can, but just looking inside of here, they're filling this up with some honey and pollen, but nothing capped yet, so it's all going to be super fresh. All I'm gonna do is push this on back here, like that. It's kind of hard with that wax. Sometimes it likes to give all of a sudden, so just gotta take it nice and easy, real slow. As you can see, these ones, nothing is in these. Maybe a little bit of pollen. And this one, as you can see, we have brood, And we have pollen. And if you can, I don't know if you can see in there, I'll keep on kind of twisting it here like this. But there is, we're looking for the, we're actually looking inside on the uncapped brood too as well. So then we can see if it's very shiny and pearly white, that means that they are very healthy. And the pattern of brood on this one's pretty tight. And I don't see any of them that have been cracked or have any diseases or anything like that. So this is half a frame of brood. This is the next frame that we're gonna take a peek at. Alrighty, so here's another one. We got a good amount of brood here. If I can find the queen, I'll be sure to show her to you, but that would be really nice to see the queen. But in this situation right here, on this side of the brood, on this side of the frame, there's a very good brood pattern. It's not very shotgun pattern, which is very good. It's very tight. So that means the queen is a very good queen. As you can see, there's another good little section there. When they're in like peak performance, this thing would be totally covered in brood. But everything's looking very nice, very good. We got some new worker bees in there. They're super fuzzy. We got some new bees in there. Now if we flip this thing over like this here, we can see on this side here, we can, little tip, you can move bees around even just by barely blowing on them. You don't have to blow that hard and they'll kind of move out of your way really quick. So this is our first, so that's our first full frame of brood there. As you can see, this frame here has a awesome amount of brood on it, which is super cool. It's very heavy. Up, there's the queen. I see the queen right there. That is awesome. Let me be able to put down the camera and point it out to you. The queen is right there. So if you keep your eye on her, I'll bring her in closer. As you can see, she is good. She's very fat, which is nice and good. But yeah, she's doing a really good job of, she's very healthy, so she's keeping a very good tight brood pattern, so that's very good. I'll entire another frame of brood. So we have half full, so we got 2.5 right now. This next one I can already see is pretty full too, so just go ahead and take this little bit of wax here, put it there. Most of the time why there's wax on the top of these frames like this is just because they're trying to just seal up and connect the roof of their hive. So we just easily just take it off like this. It's kind of funny when you're working out here, you can, if you pay attention to the noise of the bees buzzing, you know they're starting, you can actually hear when they start to get agitated. So when you hear that, you can just kind of send a couple whoop, like that. When you accidentally bump the frame there, you can just send a couple puffs of smoke in the air, and that'll normally chill them all out. Kind of blocks out all their response pheromones and stuff like that. So when I set it down, I always make sure there's no bees on that tip of the frame. Now, as you can see, it is absolutely loaded to the gills with brood. So that is a blessing. And it is, woo, look at that. That is a very healthy queen in there. Extraordinary. She is going to have a absolute metric ton of worker bees here. to help grow out her hive. And as you can see, awesome. And I can see from looking down in there, this is the last frame of brood. So they have 3.5 frames of brood. And I just checked up on, that's why I like to mark the tops of these. It said the last time I checked on this had 2.5 frames of brood. Now it has 3.5 frames of brood, so that's good. We're going up. We have grabbed a whole entire extra frame of brood, which is super cool. And if we can look at these bees, see how in super weak hives there will only be like 3 frames of, there might only be like a couple frames that will be fully loaded with bees. But as you can see, this frame is loaded with bees, this frame is loaded with bees, loaded, 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 and loaded. They are doing very well. And the other thing that the bee guy said is once this happens, I should add a super on top of this. Right now, my priority with these 2 hives is not to have them producing honey. Like if they do, that's great this year, but mainly I'm pretty much, these 2 hives are super weak, and I'm building them from the ground up, which is super exciting. So I'm gonna put a super on top of this. I'm not gonna put a queen excluder on it. I really want her to get lots more workers in. I want to get lots more brood in this hive and everything like that. And then once she gets that super nice and filled up, and she needs definitely way more storage too, food storage. So we'll definitely keep the sugar on her. I didn't see any capped honey or anything, so they are clearly relying on the sugar water that I'm giving them and the nectar that they're gathering out there, which there's lots of it, but they're definitely, you know, definitely still pretty weak. So, but they got plenty enough bees though. They got lots of bees. So I definitely don't want them to swarm and go somewhere else, because you don't, with 3.5 frames of brood, that's going to be a lot of bees that are going to hatch in, I'll put it up on the screen how long it takes for brood to hatch. I think it's like 20 days or something like that, or maybe less than that, I forget. So it's pretty quick actually. So anyway, we are going to just go ahead and very slowly and very carefully, I'm just pushing back all of the frames here. Grab this little deal here. I'm going to go ahead and put back on their roof, but I am going to put the super on this one without a queen excluder. And once they fill up the super full enough, then I will put a queen excluder on top of the super, and then put another super on top of that. And I think there's a particular name for that, but anyway, and that will be just for honey storage, and that's what I will harvest out of. These bees are doing good. I wouldn't say very, very good, because if I would want to see lots more storage, food storage in here, which there's not a lot of. So we will move our bucket. Work smarter, not harder. Get a 5-gallon bucket. It's way easier. You don't got to bend over 100% of the time. I got couldn't find my, James was using the impact, so that's why I'm using a drill. Definitely gently setting stuff on the beehives, I've learned. If you go banging on them too much, they'll get really mad. But I guess it's like people too. If you went and banged on somebody's door, they would get pretty mad too. So just kind of, not too much, just a little bit. Smoke them. Open this on up here. Put this down over here. this hive's doing very well too as well. So as you can see, we have, without taking anything out, we have bees packed in here, bees packed here, bees packed in here, and here, and here, and here, and here, all packed with bees. So that's telling me with this one too, that we need to get a super on this one as well. Alrighty. Those are our 2 supers that we're going to be needing, so there you go. We got a little homemade wax candle, but this is for waxing the frames. So here we go. What we are going to be doing here, just got a bucket to collect any wax here. It's nicer to do this on a warm day when the wax is nice and soft. What am I doing? I am just cleaning up these supers before I take them back there. So just cleaning them up, making them look all nice. Do you have to do it? No. Do I want to do it? Yeah. Put it in there. So as you can see, this frame is bare, totally bare. This side has a couple weird little spots there, which are fine. But like, you see how there's just mainly just you just want to clean it up. I do anyway. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this here, and you're just gonna do this. Just gonna rub it down here. I just want to make sure everything's really good and well coated. All right. So this one's pretty much done. As you can see though, we have a couple buddies showing up here. This one is totally, perfectly filled out with comb, which is epic because they can just go straight into putting brood in there or putting pollen or nectar and everything in there. So that's super cool. Let's see here. They have one done. They have another one done. They have what else do they got here? They got another one, another one. There's still some pollen and everything. We got some bees in here just cleaning everything up for us, which is cool. So I went all the way through this super. It is super good. I think there's only 1 or 2 frames that they're gonna have to dedicate some time and actually build out the comb. But there's quite a bit that's just comb ready to go, empty comb ready to go. So that will be super easy for them. Let's peek inside this one. As you can see, they are a little bit dirty. They have pollen all over them because pollen, right? The pollen is in, all the trees are flowering and blossoming, so the pollen's everywhere. So if you see this weird dust, it's actually yellow dust of pollen. So it's actually not dirt. Half empty, still needs to be done though. Empty, one, empty, empty, halfway, kinda, halfway, kinda, and another shmeh one. Alrighty, so this one is 100% done. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to leave this is just all scrap that I pulled off both of these hives. I'm gonna leave this scrap there for them to access. They can take this wax and use it wherever they want in their hives. Now I have to go get nectar, weight for weight, water and sugar mix, and you do it 1-to-1 by weight. So 1 pound of sugar for 1 pound of water. I wanted to show y'all real quick what I do for what I use in my nectar. I use lemongrass oil and tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is just mainly just to help the bees, keep them nice and healthy. You only put a couple drops in there. You don't need a lot of it in there. And then with the lemongrass oil, all that does is makes it more natural smelling, and they love it way more, instead of it just smelling like plain sugar. So anyway, that's how I make it. Nice warm water. So we're going to take our handled bucket here. You might be saying, why is it one-handled? Well, it makes it so much easier to lift it up. Just joking. Anyway, your bees, the second they start smelling this going everywhere, they will start to go berserk on you. So you got to fill it up pretty quick. I'm gonna give this one, the more stronger of the two, the one with built out comb. So we are going to go that super that has all that built out comb. So the one with all of the comb, they will be very excited to start expanding here. Miss Evie wanted to know, this is a mesh top here, and when you flip this over, a little bit will splat out, but surface tension holds it in, and the bees have their tongues kind of like straws, and they can suck right on through this here, and a lot of them are already wanting it. So we're gonna let out a little bit of that nectar out of there. Now we will come over here and grab this one, and we will set it in here. A little bit messy, but not too bad. Alrighty, so that is the end of this video, y'all. I absolutely enjoyed myself, so hopefully y'all learned something. If you saw something that I was doing that was just interesting, or I could do better, and you actually own bees, of course, just go ahead and tell me down below, and I would love to hear it. So anyway, hope that y'all will have a very blessed day, and we will catch y'all on the next video. Bye-bye.